into his frequency. Enter at your own risk. Come be at peace with me. Ask the Paul, where we rise and don't fall.
Welcome back to another episode of Baxter's Buzz. I am your host, Baxter E. Hall. Welcome to my brain. Welcome to my frequency. Enter at your own risk. Today, I have a special guest with me. We're going to get into a number of things, but simply, she is a mindset coach. She is someone that I follow in social media and was super hyped to actually meet her in real life less than a year ago, and just love her story and love the things that she's doing. And I wanted to get her on the pod to share some of her insights and some of the ways that she looks at things. So I want to welcome to the pod the founder of Thoughts Become Things, Kristy Stanford. Kristy, welcome to Baxter's Buzz.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah, no. We have a mutual friend, and when I was like, I know you, like I ain't gonna act like I didn't, have been following you for a couple of, several years now, and so
Yeah.
it's been a pleasure getting to know you, and I'm hoping to looking forward to learning more and kind of sharing some of this stuff with the audience. So let's jump right into it.
Okay.
Thoughts become things. Tell me about the organization, your thought process behind it, and sort of like what led you to founding the company.
So, since you've been following me for years, you know that I've been in the space of like personal development, mindset reprogramming. I've been really into personal development over the last 10 years, 10, 11 years. And when I graduated from college, I was like, I want to be a life coach because I knew I was following this life coach for like a couple of years. I'm like, I want to do what she does. And so, in the process of me even doing life coaching and things like that, I wanted to focus more so on mindset and how it plays an effect on the Black community. And so I started teaching mindset, just like in community centers, different programs that I would have within my business. But I'm like, a lot of the people that I want to work with, they don't have the money to pay me. And this information is so valuable for the Black community to move us forward, learning how to reprogram our limited beliefs, learning how stress affects like our brain, learning how, the things that we listen to, the things that we watch, the things that we read, this all plays effect in our reality. And I've always been a fan of the phrase like thoughts become things. If you can see it in your mind, then you can hold it in your hand. And walking people through that process, I think is so valuable and important to me. And I've seen transformation in my life. So with the organization Thoughts Become Things, I was like, I want to be able to offer free mindset coaching to limited income communities. And of course, have other people sponsor or donate money so that they can get this education to help them transform their lives. So that's pretty much where we started at. I started with just doing like giveaways and events and just doing little things just like out of the kindness of my heart. Because I believe that everybody is meant to live an abundant life. And if I'm living an abundant life, the people that I'm in community with should be able to live that and understand that too. So where I started.
Yeah, no, I love that, and I can say one of the things that drew me to your social media was just you really like putting it out there, like today is going to be a great day. Today's going to be the best day of my life. Like, you know, um, I haven't always been as open-minded when it
Hmm.
comes to some of that stuff. Like, um, it could feel a little like cliche or a little like phony. But first of all, you have been consistent for years with that, and then also after having like met you in real life, like no, that's like really you, right?
Hmm.
Um, when you talk about sort of thoughts become things, like if you can have the thought, you can hold it in your hand. Give me an example of something that when it was really like driven home for you, that this like that there was like a real connection between sort of like mindset, visualization, and then actually like, manifestation?
Really a lot in my 20s. I wanted to be a speaker. I wanted to travel the world to speak, but I'm like, well, you probably got to have a lot of money. And, nobody is going to want to hear a Black girl speak on this and this, or, a Black girl can't really be like a mindset coach or successful like in this area. Because with a lot of the coaches that were in my field, they were all a different color skin, and not Black or brown. So, and they were making like the high dollar stuff, right? But all before 30, I got to travel to Dubai to speak, Paris, Cape Town, South Africa. So it was really like I'm living out my dreams. But the thing was, though, the thing was, I didn't have all like those millions that I thought I was gonna have while doing it, but I was still doing it. Like I still was able to make a way and serve in that capacity. Even now, I'm 30, almost 34, I think. I can't remember, but
I was counting.
right, who's counting? But even now, just being able to say, like, I have a career in something that I love to do, even though you always see yourself like 10 years ago, I'm like, I should be making this much and I should have this. But at the same time, like, you're still in your field doing the work. And 10 years ago, you were working at Best Buy for $12 an hour and you hate it. Like you hated your job. Like I used to clean houses too. And it's like you hated your job and you kept praying like, oh, I just hope I find like something that I love to do, where I'm able to help people, where I'm able to impact people. And that is something that I have now. Now the money will keep coming, but those things helped me to realize that, thoughts really do become things. And my overall goal before I graduated college was just doing something that I love, being able to make impact. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that I've been having, and it's one of the themes that I have for the year. I've had so many conversations over the past few weeks around um, sort of purpose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just what your purpose is. Are you aligned to what sort of God's called you to do? And
Hmm.
then like you may have this thing in your head, but you may have it for the wrong reasons. It's like
Hmm.
you have that, like people have this wonderful skill set, but then they're trying to get rich quick, or they're
Yeah.
or they want to be in this field even though their heart's not in it, but they feel like this is the most opportunity there.
Yeah.
And they're wondering why it's not happening for them.
Hmm.
And I'm big on like service, sort of adding value. And I think that alignment with your purpose, it feels more natural. It doesn't mean it's not difficult at times. It doesn't mean that it's gonna pay off right away tangibly, but there's something inside of us where we know when we are in our lane, when we are doing the thing that we know we're being called to do, there's a peace that we have and an excitement. And there's no better feeling.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
And the things that the experiences that you have is just building that foundation to say, yeah, you weren't meant to be at Best Buy forever. It served
Right. Yeah.
its purpose, but now it's like now you're really walking into those things, and you're really a walking testimonial of the things that you coach and that you speak to so many folks about.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I tell people sometimes, I don't want to say sometimes like your purpose will shift, but sometimes like the things that you were doing, let's say 5 years ago, might not be the things that you're doing in the next 5 years. And that's okay. Like we're all going to go through different phases where we have to start over again. I was talking to somebody at my job the other day, and they were like, I read one of your statuses, and they was like, you have a degree in film studies and communications. So what are you doing in social work? And I'm like, when I got my degree, I was like, I want to help people. But I was already doing that before I graduated. I just was so deep into film studies and communication. I've been studying that for 4 or 5 years, in college.
Right.
So I worked on what I did was the things that I was learning, personal development and books and church and things like that. I turned it into like a blog. And that's when like blogs like first start like happening. So I started this YouTube show called My Media Melody. And basically, one, it was to help me practice my public speaking. And two, it was to help me practice just like my editing and talking in front of camera. So it kind of was like my resume. It was my resume for when I started applying for jobs, for TV jobs, producer jobs, like, hey, I can do this. Hey, I have a website. Hey, I already have, blogs and stuff like that that you guys can check out that I've been doing on my own before I even got a job or internship. So that helps me. So I was like kind of winning in both areas. So it worked out. I don't like to do film anymore. Even though I love producing, I love coming up with ideas and stuff like that. But I think that the field of really helping people and being hands-on with coaching, training, mentoring, things like that, I think that is my lane for sure. And so things change. In 10 years, who knows what I'm gonna be doing? But my purpose still is the same, wanting to help people.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, to your point, 5 years from now, maybe next year, you're producing a project that's still helping people speak into mindset, right? Those things
Yep.
aren't mutually exclusive.
Yep.
The You said something about kind of starting this YouTube channel, and I think it's important to kind of go back to that. I mean, like, I'm in sales. I present a lot externally. I even present internally, to team members and everything. My podcast has made me sharper for sure,
Mm-hmm.
because you are facilitating conversations. You're practicing your framing,
Mm-hmm.
how you get in and out of a topic. If I'm if I'm talking to you and I'm making sure that we hit certain points, it's very similar to if I'm going to present to a prospective client and I have
Yeah.
my team with me and I'm sort of facilitating who speaks when, how to introduce the next sort of teammate and what they're going to cover. All those things are reps that we don't always look at. But two things: one, your reps can come from another number of ways, and they are translatable. But you got to start somewhere.
Yes, you have to start. You have to start.
You got to just jump out there. You can't theorize it to death and never take action. You can troubleshoot on the way, but if you haven't started, you don't even know which buttons to press or levers to pull if you haven't gotten out there and started to do the thing, right?
Yeah. So that I think that is the number one thing, and this is with anything, like with starting, whether it be going to the gym, wanting to move out of state, wanting to go back to school, start the process. Like once you start, you have certain action steps. You have small action steps. Okay, I gotta, fill out the application. I gotta give the money for the application. I gotta get accepted. I gotta find scholar. Whatever those steps are, we just have to start and get in the process. Okay, I got a gym membership. Okay, now I have to actually go. What
Right.
days am I going? Now I have to like. Once you get in the flow of the start of it, it's like, okay, what do I want my end result to be? And how can I get there? Now I can make the steps, to get in there.
No, I when I started my job at Capnick, I one of my family members, she's like one of my best friends, and she happens to also be like a marketing exec. And so started this job in 2020, couldn't go nowhere. But yet I needed to figure out a personal brand because in the benefit space, any insurance really, it's the relationship first, right? It's
Yeah.
do I know this person or trust this person? If I like this person, then I'm more interested in what they do and maybe how they can help me. And so I said, how do I get in front of folks? And she said, well, you can pay for sort of like the boost, right?
Okay.
It's really expensive, or you can just do it old school. You can just post.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. And so that's really how it started. The Baxter's Buzz was born. Although I didn't have a blog with the same
Mhm.
name back, 100 years ago. Just wanted to create, wanted to share, but the the point was I had to start somewhere. So I had to jump in there.
Yep.
I was, picking apart my episode. I said, okay, look, we're not gonna worry about that. We're just gonna go. We're gonna try to limit our editing, and we're just gonna get better as we go. But we have
Yep.
to start, and there was. I remember when it was just one gentleman. His name's Dan. Dan was the only one that would like my post on LinkedIn. Like I had one like,
That's enough. That's enough.
right. But it could be really discouraging if you let it get in your head where
Hmm.
you're like, oh man, let me stop. So I want to hear your thoughts on this. I'm big on like how people respond to adversity.
Yeah.
You know, Mike Tyson has this line where he says, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Yes. I have a good story for this. Um, so before COVID hit, I was coming out with these different programs for my coaching. And sorry if I sound stuffed up. My allergies just started attacking me as we started recording. So I'm working through this. But so I had these different programs that I was doing like for my mindset coaching. And 2019, let's see, 2019 going into 2020. I was staying in Westland in like 2019 and I had to move out of my apartment because the rent was getting too high. And I was like, dang, I'm gonna have to go back home. But my friend that stayed like out here in the city, she was like, well, I need some help. We can split rent, blah, blah, blah. So I was living with somebody else. I've never done that before. So it's strange to me. And so I tried to start this program that was called the Procrastination Plan. And because a lot of people were in my coaching, we're talking about how they procrastinate, they can't get on board with this, they can't get on board with that. So I had spent some money. Like, I'm like, okay, I created like these little videos, promo videos that we're gonna do. It has to be like 10 of them. And I paid somebody like good money, like close to $2,000, $3,000 that I did not have to do these promo videos to help make it like aesthetically, together. I think I had barely one person sign up for the program. I'm like, all of y'all been telling me y'all need help with procrastination, and ain't nobody signed up for this program. The program launched like February of 2020. So literally like before COVID had hit. And I mean, I don't even remember what happened to that one person. Like, nobody signs up. And I'm just like, oh my God. But at the same time, when I'm realizing this, the world is shutting down. So now I'm taking a step back. I'm dealing with everything that I haven't dealt with like in my life over like the last 2, 3 years. And so I started reading more. We had time, right? We had time.
Yeah, time.
We had time to like really get our lives together. And I'm just like, I'm gonna be better. Like that didn't work. I'm gonna be better. I'm gonna keep going. And I just dove more into my spirituality. And I actually ended up signing up for like this, I think it was like a 6 month class to help me get like more certifications within mindset and brain science and stuff like that. And the the program was so transformational. Like it helped me to become a better coach. And then so when I came out of COVID, I had got a new apartment that I have now, and it was just like how I imagined. But I also launched another program like that summer. And that summer I filled all my spaces. I had like 10 people that I wanted. Even the next year when I launched the program, I had got somebody like out of the country that participated in the program. So sometimes it's just not the time. And obviously during COVID, it was not going to be the time to
Yeah,
really be coaching when I needed to get myself together, you know?
that's right.
So even though I tell people not to label things as failures. It's kind of just like a little setback. Like, okay, this didn't work, but something else might work. Long as you didn't stop and like give up, because sometimes it's just like a little redirection. It just be like, okay, it's not the time. Something else is coming. It's not the time. But we spend hours and resources and money, right? We spend money and then it's just like, okay, but I still showed up. Like, I think especially with business, showing up as an expert is super critical, super key. Like, show up as an expert, like you know what you're talking about. Study what it is that you love to do and work on becoming that expert in that field. So that's how I really overcame that. It's just saying it's just not the time yet.
Yeah.
But a couple of months later, it was the time, you know?
Yeah. I have a friend who um she refers to herself as an emerging expert
I like that.
in her field. And I was like, I love that too, because it doesn't mean I'm not still learning myself, right?
Yeah,
It means I have a good base of knowledge in this, but the world's changing. My ideas are changing. I'm learning, the more information, I may be changing my perspective on some things.
yeah,
But even as an expert, we're never done sort of learning. And we can't be afraid of like not knowing everything or not
yeah,
looking the part, or I should be making X amount of money before I start talking to someone else about
yeah. I
what they
like
should
that.
be doing with their lives, right? We get in our minds and get in our heads and start talking ourselves out of action.
Yeah,
And how can we learn what works or what doesn't work if we don't jump out there and fail?
yeah. We can't be scared of failure because it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
It's happened to everybody.
that's right.
You know, it's happened to everybody, but it's just another opportunity for us to try again. Now, at some points in time, like you will get exhausted from trying and trying and trying. I've been there, like within the last 1 to 2 years. Like, okay, I'm a little tired. I'm trying to do this. Let me just take a break because it weighs on you mentally. But when you
Sure.
come back, like, long as you remember like the purpose, the overall goal, the theme, the impact that you want to do, regardless of whatever it is, like this is your life. Like, what is your life's purpose? What is your life's work? What is your life's impact? When you can remember that, that will help you to get back up and try again, or even starting something new. I'm starting something new, but my mission is still the same. My purpose is still the same. Like, even with my nonprofit stuff, even if I don't see my nonprofit, all the way through, my mission and my purpose is still the same, is to impact people and to help make people's lives better. Helping them to see what I see in them. It's kind of like just doing a mirror. Like I want you to see this and I want you to embody it. And I want you to grasp that you are meant to live an abundant life. Like just because you grew up down the street or you did this a couple of years ago or you used to do this, you're still meant to live an abundant life. But it's up to us to obtain that. So
Right.
yeah.
Oh, no, I mean you preaching this morning, and I am definitely the proverbial choir because I've seen it in my own life.
Yeah.
And it's easy to just it's easy to say not right now, or you know, people will start a project. So again, I'm skeptical just in general, but I'm also just very curious to see how people respond to adversity. So like I'll see um they'll show a kid that he's 8 years old, he's playing flag football and he looks like Barry Sanders, right? He's like just better than everybody at this stage,
Yeah.
right? He may be a little bit more advanced. And I'm never like hating on him, but my mind immediately goes to I wonder how he'll do once he is finally faced with somebody that is similar in like gifts.
Yeah.
And once the first time he gets laid out, will he have that same energy or will he go, you know what, this ain't for me. I thought it was fun when it was easy, but that resistance, I don't want it. We never
Mm.
know sometimes.
Yep.
In the sales world, and especially in the world that I'm in, I mean, I'm constantly getting punched in the face, and
Yeah.
having to remind myself why I'm doing it, and peeling myself back off the ground, and sort of maybe it was something that I could have done differently that would have caused a different outcome. Maybe it just wasn't the right opportunity for me.
Yeah.
And that alignment, when I pray that if this is the right opportunity that is come, I don't want anything that's not meant for me though. And it's that could be tough because sometimes
Yeah.
you be like, I need that money, I
Yeah.
need that opportunity, but if it's not meant for you, trust me, you're better off not ever having it and
Yeah.
giving it to the person it's meant for, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Kristy, tell me about, I mean, the last time we talked, I mean, you said the word impact a couple of handfuls of time, and it was authentic. It was just you and I, wasn't being
Yeah.
recorded. You are really, that's really important to you. Talk about, um, sort of as you look at 2025, what type of impact do you plan on making this year and kind of and beyond?
So I have a couple of different things that I'm working on this weekend, actually, that I still have to send you some things on. But just really, I think one of my biggest impacts that I want to make this year is making sure that limited in communities, or I don't like to say low income, I like to say limited income, that limited income communities have safe spaces or people to support them in their health and wellness like transitions. So what I mean by that is I'm going to be hosting a number of different events that provide a safe space and gives limited income people access to um, mental health resources, health resources, whether that be like facials, massages, free, right? Connecting them with therapists, hosting different workshops to where they have access to these things right in their own community and making sure that they understand the importance of it. Because when we label things as like self-care, we think about journals, our cute little planners, a little candle, a little wine, like, we think about the cute things. But when I say, like a self-care Sunday, like sometimes we need to unload, like what kind of week did I have this week? Like one, I don't have the money to pay the rent. My tires, I need new tires. I need a new car. The kids, their tuition, is coming up, or they need new clothes, or, I really need a new job. I hate my job, money, but the other job that I want to take is all the way across town and I don't have a car to get, like, all of these different barriers that hold us up, right? Or I've gained so much weight, like I want to go to the gym, but I don't have the time, like a little, a limited belief that we might have like about ourselves. All of these different barriers. I feel like as Black people, we carry a lot of barriers, a lot of obstacles that we run into. And it's just like we just stop there. Like, oh, it's just gonna be me and my barriers, for the rest of my life. How can I get over this? And where do I have space at to unload? Like, I'm tired of the barriers.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do? Like, I'm tired of the barriers. I'm tired of trying to always have to figure things out, because we also have to be solution oriented. But some people are not, and they stack on problems on top of problems on top of problems. And then typically with our problems, that causes us to think the same thoughts every single day, right? Every single day, I'm thinking about how to do this. I don't have the money to do that. I wish I could do this. I wish I could do that. So then those same thoughts carry into the next day, into the next day, into the next day. And now all of our problems are becoming our future because we don't have solutions.
Yeah.
So it's like we're just stuck like in this cycle, and people do not understand that when you break that down. And it's just like, dang, yes, I want to change my life. Absolutely. But I'm not understanding that by thinking the same thoughts every day, I'm literally just creating my future. So it's just like really a big circle that I'm going in, and I don't understand why I'm going in that. That's a lot to unpack. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a lot to unpack. So having these safe spaces and having access to workshops or sessions or whatever, that may look like, to help you understand that. One, to help you unpack it. Cry if you need to, right? And then two, to get you connected to the right people to help move you forward. That is my overall impact for life. Make sure you have this to the things that they need. If you have a problem, what resource can we connect you with within the city or within Metro Detroit to help you with that? But one, when you have a problem, you also have to have the mindset to be solution oriented and be open to the solution.
Yeah.
So it's a little deep.
Yeah.
But
it talks about the wiring, right? We all have obstacles.
Yeah.
It's tough being a human, right? We got emotions, we got thoughts, we got people that we care about, and it's all dynamic, right?
Yeah.
And when you talk about being Black and all of the additional barriers that we have, we can't be our own barriers by talking ourselves out of things, right?
Yeah.
And if we don't have those safe spaces to share frustrations and and hopefully like resolutions and solutions to these problems, we're stuck in our head, and we're stuck in neutral and without the ability seemingly to make any real progress, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is like right up my alley. This is like fascinating stuff, and yes, it's gonna take more than a 30-minute podcast, but I will say that I love that what you're doing. I know that you and I will continue to talk and see how we can sort of partner together.
Absolutely.
I just want to thank you for your time today. This has been really good.
Thank you for having me.
She is the founder of Thoughts Become Things. On behalf of Kristy, I just want to let everyone listening or watching to know that you are all capable. You're all capable. You just need to embrace your own frequency. On behalf of Kristy, I am Baxter E. And until next time, peace.
Bye.
Welcome into his brain. Welcome into his frequency. Enter at your own risk. Come be at peace with me.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please hit the like button. Please subscribe, share, and also hit that notification button as well. Thank you so much.
Financial literacy to authentic Black history. This real rap.